and also a director. But I've always loved kids and working with kids. I've got two of my own. And so I started teaching drama and exploring the possibilities of drama and role play with kids, because I see so much at the schools, and it's the kids have, we're losing our light. The kids need some sort of purpose, as you said, in life, and a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
They don't see anything, so I help them through our workshops and through our classes to find their voice and find some sort of inspiration that will help them carry through. And also I teach them that, they're young, they can now experiment and explore and think outside of the box and all that.
So you help them to dream, to bring the goodness of them with confidence.
I was very lucky to have a wonderful role model in my life, and that was my grandfather.
Beautiful.
He was an amazing man, and he taught me that you have to have big dreams.
That's correct.
Because, let's be, realistic. Your dreams will never fully materialize.
Yeah.
But if you have a small dream, you might only get a small half. But if you have a humongous dream, your half will be a humongous half.
That's correct.
So dream big, but don't just sit on your derriere.
Yeah.
You got to get out and do things. You have to try 100 times, more than 100 times. Keep trying.
That's correct. And I think when we dream big like that, and we know this good, it comes something good for other people, like it's going to be helping other people, or it's going to be good for you and your family or the community around you. I think just the nature of the universe helps you to reach that.
It's a domino effect in a sense, because if you feel good, then you become a better person. So I know that when I'm, happy and optimistic, I'm a better mum.
That's correct.
So my children are happier, and and they say, even if obviously I'm not going to tell them, my 3-year-old, I'm not going to tell them Mum is really depressed now, because they don't get it, but they sense it.
So do you suffer from sometime from depression yourself?
I've suffered, I think you name it, I've had it.
Okay.
But I think primarily I started off with being anorexic, so to speak. Like I think that a lot of people have this view of anorexia. It's just an image thing, and that it's got to do with, okay, we'll shove some food in their mouth and they'll be fine.
Yeah, let's get back a little bit before you give them more information about that. When do you think it started, the anorexia issue with you?
That's the thing. I think mine kind of started when I was about 7, 8.
Yeah.
That's when my parents separated.
Yeah.
And my life suddenly kind of turned upside down.
Yeah.
And then at the age of, around that time actually, I had a couple of uncomfortable experiences with men.
Okay.
And when I was about 12, it was a group of guys, just about 16, 17, who were sort of abusive to a point. And I think that made me vulnerable.
So that is from the school you're
This
talking
is
about?
back in
the
Czech
high school.
Oh yeah, this is Czech Republic though, mind you.
Oh,
this is
Czech
back,
Republic. Oh yeah, sure.
And of course, I did what every child would do probably, and I try and instill in my daughters not to do that, but I didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
So I just bottled it up.
So you keep it for yourself.
And that's when I started kind of becoming more aware of myself, and I withdrew from the world.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I was able to control was me.
Yeah.
So it was my eating, it was my diet. That was the more things sort of escalated out of control, and then we escaped.
So what were you thinking? Can you remember really? What were you thinking at the time? Like, were you thinking like, I need to become skinny because I can attract guys?
No, actually,
this
is the funny thing, and that's why I say that anorexia or eating disorders are not necessarily about being attractive.
Okay.
But you are vulnerable. And,
Yeah.
I was 13, so I had a little bit of what you'd call baby fat at that point, I think.
Yeah.
And my brother and my dad actually, they would say, oh, you gotta get off your bum, and you'll be fat, and you have no friends, and I'm gonna whip you around the block, just jokingly. And then a friend from school gave me a Christmas present, which was a little hippo toy, and said, make sure you don't end up looking like that.
Oh gosh, everything
And
comes
I was like, thanks guys. But what I find is that I sort of started looking at myself, and I thought, okay, well, I'll show you. And it was not about wanting to be attractive, because I did not want to attract men because of that experience.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to show them that I could just get as skinny as possible.
Wow.
So for me, towards the end of that sort of the worst stage of anorexia, I actually became obsessed with invisibility almost.
Yeah.
I did not want to look like a woman. I wanted to be sort of sexless, because I didn't want the attention of men.
Yeah.
So it was like a self-destruction. It becomes that.
Did you know that it was hurting you? I mean, mentally and physically. Did you know that, or
You know,
were-
that's the strange thing, and that's what I talk about a lot when I talk to my students. That I think we'll have to get back to the community announcement.
Oh, thank you for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Top of it, but-
yeah, that's good. So we're gonna be back with my question and
Yes.
with more questions. So thank you so much for sharing your journey, because I feel like I'm traveling with you to Czechoslovakia, to the high school.
Don't
This
worry,
is
you're
what
going to
we
go to a
want.
refugee camp next.
yeah, let's get back. So thank you. Yes, we are back. Thank you for waiting for us. So we have Susie, and she's talking all about her experience done in her own country, but obviously her
Eastern Europe.
yeah, Eastern Europe, a beautiful Czechoslovakia and all of that. But yeah, we were talking about her issue that she was going through with the high school. And my question then was, I know that you were suffering from eating disorders, and that's why you were telling us about it. But did you know that you were suffering,
Yes.
actually hurting your body yourself? Like
That's the strange thing about anorexia, and I always tell my students, you become almost another person. Where you've got another person in your head, you've got voices in your head.
yeah,
And I sort of, at the end of, when I sort of had a chance to sit down and think about it seriously, that I believe I had about at least 3 characters in my head.
yeah,
One was the anorexia. I called her at the time the dictator, because she was completely in control.
yeah,
And she was telling me, okay, don't do this exercise, don't eat, punish yourself, punish everybody, don't be friends with anyone. And then I had myself,
yeah.
which was the person that I've always been. I was a very happy kid. I was always active. I was into, acting and writing and, trying to get out of school as much as possible. And that person was there kind of going, I want to be me again.
Yeah.
And then there was the observer, who was sort of like a referee.
Yeah.
So it was really strange, because I knew the me person, the me voice, knew. And I often, I actually told my mother later, I said, I wish sometimes you would make me do things, because I really, really wanted to eat, or I really wanted to go out with you and be part of the family. But because, and Mum was very supportive. I think the only reason that I got out of it is the fact that I had her support. But, she would give in quite often. As I said, I'd say, I'm not going out with you, or I'm not going to eat that. She would give in to that voice. So,
So yeah,
so it was like a battle in my head.
yeah, yeah. So tell us a little bit more about you day by day at the time. Like you wake up and you didn't have breakfast, and then you went down to
It
lunch.
obviously escalated.
Yeah,
And part of it was when we went in, we actually escaped illegally. So we went through a refugee camp and everything.
oh, you have a big journey.
So it was
behind,
a very interesting experience. And we spent a year in a refugee camp. So there was no access to food as such as well.
You were in that camp.
Yeah, we were in a camp, not here, not in Australia, but in
No.
Austria at the time. I think they got rid of it now.
Oh,
But
wow.
we actually had
Yeah.
to go seek an asylum, and then we had to wait, and they had to check us, so we were locked up and guarded by, and all that I think contributed to the fact that I had anorexia, because again, everything was out of control. When you're a kid, I was 13,
Yeah.
there's police officers, and we slept in it was an old army barracks,
Yeah.
and we slept in a room with, I think it was 100 beds.
So I suppose the behavior start from there, where
So
you
that-
didn't have enough food, and then you start thinking
Yeah.
like, I don't need it, because
Yeah,
you still
and
survive.
the food was pretty horrible.
Yeah,
And so that way, and of course there was nothing else to do, so I started exercising.
yeah.
And that escalated.
That's
So
great.
towards the end, I would get up in the morning, and I became obsessed. I had almost like compulsive obsessive behavior.
Yeah,
I'd have to. Everything was on a schedule.
yeah,
I had to brush my teeth at an exact time every morning. I had to eat, if I did eat. But then often it ended up with me maybe just having a toast for breakfast, and then nothing else till dinner.
until dinner.
Until dinner, and even and there would be very little dinner, and I would exercise obsessively.
Okay. So do you feel hungry during the day, or
No.
you just
No, and
Yeah.
to this day, I think my brain does not register hunger. I don't actually feel
Oh.
hungry.
So you don't feel hungry now?
No, not yeah.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
I don't ever get hungry. I might get grumpy because that's probably my body telling
Yeah.
me
So
you
when
need.
so when
fuel.
you eat, can you taste the food
Oh
if
yes.
it's good or not?
Oh yes. I like my food.
Oh, okay.
I like my food. But I don't eat chocolate, for example,
Yeah.
because my tastes change. and we're being waved off air again.
Yeah, we're gonna be back with more questions about, and we're gonna bring you with tips and solutions and taking action, because that is what we are here today. We are obviously talking to you a lot about the problem, but don't worry, it's just the awareness of the problem, where we are, because you will be able to take action if you are suffering from those issues, or perhaps if you know somebody else are suffering from those issues. You need to know what is the
There's
next
a way
step
out.
to get out. All right, wait for us. We're back, and what do we have? A music again?
Yeah, George Michael with Careless Whisper.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Enjoy.
Whisper, enjoy,
Enjoy.
and wait for us.
We'll be back.